We're rolling.
Sleep is important.
The mossiest place in the world.
Hot up! It snowed. Control L. This is me killing Sam with a bin.
Women are used.
Look, I'm not gonna pretend to have any answer.
It was scandalous.
Don't come to cat.
For the 5th years. Would you look at that view? Good morning, Caleb.Lee.123 here. We are currently stressing. We're stressing about a research paper submission, which is due at midday on Monday. I'm traveling down to Cat today because I decided I would rather do the all-nighter at Cat and then stay there and relax. We're currently packing, making a mess, and do as I say and not as I do. Sleep is important. So I spent the early afternoon traveling down to Cat to my room in Wise. I just wanted to say again, I'm trying not to glorify staying up all night, but I am who I am and I suck at self-motivation and time management. Enjoy the vlog. Okay, so we have made it to Cat safely in the dark. We've got 17 hours to get this research paper done. There are 2 beds next to me, but I'm not going to use either of them. And I'm going to set up here. I've got loads of food from Sainsbury's ready to go so I can keep fueled all night, and a Red Bull. So the mission begins. Have plans written, got to-do list, about 2,000 words left, and a few graphics. Problem at the moment is I'm about to crash. I feel like, so I think it's time. So to cut a long story short, I did submit on time after doing a full all-nighter. What you're seeing on screen is a lot of random footage that I decided would be a good idea to show of me being slightly delirious and dancing and doing exercise as I procrastinate doing the actual research paper. But I did get it done and submitted at 11:30, about half an hour before the deadline, which I was very relieved by. Fingers crossed, it's not the worst thing I've ever done. And just to reiterate, do as I say, not as I do. I'm just happy it's over. Hello, editor Caleb at 1 AM on a Tuesday night. So just a quick story time about how I lost a day's footage with Kat, Anna and Sam. This was after I'd submitted my deadline and stayed up all night, and they kidnapped me to the mossiest place in the world. All I have left from my perspective is a be real, and I don't want to say force, but I forced Anna to recreate some of the preamble scenes in the car. Anna, where did we go on Monday?
We went to the mossiest place in the world.
What was it called?
It was called Dolgoch.
And how do you spell it?
Dolgoch.
Dolgoch. The mossiest place in the world. The mossiest place in the world.
Where do I sign up?
So you just have to use your imagination. I just submit my deadline at 11:30, and in like the early afternoon, I get in Sam's car. We drive 20 minutes to Dolgoch, and it was a hike that I wasn't fully aware of. So I was going around getting my shoes, trainers, my nice trousers, very dirty, but I had a blast because the people were lovely, of course, and I was just delirious and sort of high off not sleeping for the whole night. I climbed into a tree and got myself scratched up doing it, but yeah, it was a great day. It's a shame I lost all the footage. So I just arrived at our Airbnb, and it is just huge. It's just massive. I mean, just look at it. Cloakroom, a conservatory, which I hate, but It's a good seating space, I guess. Utility, my bed. This is where I'll get ready in the morning. So for the rest of the day, we had our usual year meeting on Monday, and I settled into the house. Hot tub! Oh, and by settled in, I mean we preheated the hot tub and tested the hot tub out for the first time. Just a strange experience using a hot tub at Cat. I won't go into the details, but some accommodation has been made not available at Cat, so we started getting Airbnbs. But to be clear, I would prefer to be staying on site in a much more communal way. The Airbnbs have sort of fractured the area a little bit. Whilst all my shenanigans are going on with the deadline, the hike, and the hot tub, the fourth years we're beginning their workshop with Mark Drain on healthy urban environments. I'm not 100% sure what's going on in this clip, so I'll just leave it there.
Do you mind?
Sorry.
No, sorry, I'm asking the leaf, not you.
Okay.
Good morning. I have just woken up. It is 1 p.m. I slept for 12 hours straight, but more importantly, it snowed. It snowed last night. Oh, it's crazy. I have not woken up yet. I am not awake and my hair's a mess. So I tried to talk about the day during that clip, but I was clearly too tired to do so. But on Tuesday we had, similar to the last month, we had FTP presentations of where we were up to in our final design projects. My idea is to, based off the lecture we had last month, would be to basically recycle as much of the material as possible.
I did it without asking.
Oh, Control L.
First person today. Okay.
Yeah, so I've changed my site since last month.
Yeah.
I'm now in Manchester. Several tiered layers of concrete slabs. On either side there's two canals. There's the Rochdale Canal and the Ashton Canal. So a quick rundown of my new project. As I alluded to in the last vlog, I changed sites from a rural to an urban setting, and it's a place in Manchester near the city centre, an old retail park that has been demolished, and I'm going to propose a sort of young people's assembly, a place for young people, mainly because the site has sort of been taken over by younger people. There's a skate park, there's sort of these like sort of makeshift basketball courts, and also some really interesting bits of like protest imagery about freeing Palestine and saving the children. And I don't want to impose something that would displace sort of that sort of, it's a third space really for younger people. And if I can in any way maintain that as a part of my intervention on the site, that would be great. Again, I mean, most of my last 3 weeks were spent doing the research paper, so this is all very early doors.
Kind of the drawings, obviously you can't see all the detail of that one. Hopefully you can see some of the detail of this. So the way this works, so we have we then have sort of natural insulation, so we've used wood fibre or sheet wool sometimes, hemp fibre even. We then have our membrane on the outside.
So that was an amazing lecture from Nick Newman of Studio Bark and UBuild. Well, you're probably wondering what this picture is on screen at the moment. I look kind of manic here. This is me killing Sam with a bin at the bar. So there's a game. There's a game that we played last year as 4th years with the then 5th years. So this month we played the game Assassin. You receive a name, a murder weapon, and a place. And it's your mission to kill whoever is on your hit list. And when you do kill someone, you receive their set of instructions, and the last man standing wins. And it was a great way for us to get to know our 5th years, a bit of an icebreaker. It's a great way to get to know each other. Even though we've had a month together, it's quite hard to get around to all these new people in 1 month. So, but having said that, I hope by the end of the year I will have spoken to everyone. But for context, in the background of this whole week, this is what is going on.
Oh my god, are we going to be on the vlog?
Yeah, well, definitely.
I feel bit. Nice, isn't it?
Help build skills and foster community coherence, and that are resilient.
So on Wednesday, we had one of our collaborative atelier sessions working with Cal and Yi, and the session was about principles, themes, diagrams, and strategies. And what me, Cal, and Yi did was really dig into each other's projects, thinking about things like sound, space, relationships, thinking about how you might approach the site, how it can be seen from the surroundings, noise, and trying to create some diagrams based upon that. Genuinely interested to see where Yi and Cal takes their projects, especially like Yi's is in Liverpool's Chinatown, which is kind of in like a sad state at the moment, and like I'd love to see where she decides to take the project. What are we doing?
We are about to go buy dinner because we need to cook in the Airbnb because we can't cook here. We can get deli food. I'm getting a lovely little lasagna. What are you getting?
Lasagna.
Lasagna
all the way.
And then we've got to go to the club to get food.
Successful mission, peeling 2 kg potatoes.
Some cases being struck off the register for a period of time. If you follow the AJ, there will be regular reporting of disciplinary cases.
And I was just kind of being a sponge to the ideas and tribulations of the general public. Daunting at first, but it kind of just ended up mulling around.
A few weeks ago, and it's kind of rushed straight through into building control package. Originally, it was a refurbishment and extension project, but it's ultimately a replacement dwelling.
Beth has murdered Jafe. Gonna be in the vlog and they don't even know it.
It was just extraordinary. I had to get special permission to wear a sari because the normal rule was if you were graduating, you had to wear a white shirt and a dark skirt, right? And there was no way I was going to do that. And my mother had given me one of her old saris, and that was the only thing. This is something I've heard from my Part 3 students. So women are used for promotion or opticians. So when we have to show the EDI stats for being in a competition. So immediately all the Part 1, Part 2s were women from ethnic minorities. They all come up in that picture and say, look, how many women we employ.
Hi, sorry, I'm a little bit ill, so I'm sort of wrapped up. My voice might sound a bit weird. So that was Sumita Singh from Ecological Architects giving us a lecture about women in architecture, and I found like the whole thing a little bit emotional, like sort of the treatment of women, like especially in architecture for whatever reason, appears to not really have been improved for the last decade or more. And I think what was like surprising to me is as I've spoken to people about this, which the lecture sort of opened up conversations for, I think is really good. But what was surprising to me is it feels like every single person, whether it be like a man like myself or a woman, we all have stories about, if we've worked in practice, women being treated unfairly or unjustly in the workplace. And it's something that I sort of struggle with in my head, because having the sort of privileges as a man does give me certain benefits, but like, how do I balance just like wanting to have a career but also not like trampling on women or people as I progress? But yeah, an amazing lecture that opened up a lot of conversation, a lot of needed and useful conversation. And also the ARB have recently shared some findings about workplace culture, which is quite sad. I'm just looking at it on the screen here. Things such as 1/3 of all professionals have experienced insults, stereotypes, jokes relating to protected characteristics. 1 in 4 female professionals have experienced unwelcome sexual advances, and a third of professionals would not feel confident raising concerns if they had experienced or witnessed misconduct, which is all just like, I mean, it's not surprising, but, and like, look, I'm not going to pretend to have any answers apart from just not being part of the problem, but moving on from that. And after the lecture, of course, it was pub night. Shots? 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 Look. How was the week so far?
Week so far has been pretty good. We have had like way less intense timetable.
That's good.
We went through the mall on the way here, which is always a great way to start.
The mole hole?
Yeah.
The mole hole.
So we were like making
I'm not
sure...
explaining what the mole hole is.
We won't explain that.
It sounds weird though.
It's weird.
Basically, the most context I'll give is the full extent of a cat site that like not all of us have gone through yet. So some of us made sure to
Leave wise.
But have you discussed the game?
And we're rolling.
Yeah.
It's been an intense week here at CAT. Everyone's been on edge.
Assassins at every corner.
I've been killing people.
Yeah.
I've been killed.
So
I've killed people.
As you
I've
did.
killed someone.
So the reason we went originally, it was under the guise of going through the tunnel, was because there was a murder in the greenhouse.
Scandalous.
It was scandalous.
Scandalous.
It was in the dark.
Johannes,
Johannes.
bloodthirsty man.
Yeah.
He's a bloodthirsty boy.
To watch Ollie die such a brutal death before our eyes was harrowing.
Harrowing is the word. Harrowing.
So it's been good, but we've been on edge really these 4th years because the 5th years they've got the confidence.
That's fair.
I feel they shove you into the right spot.
We grab you, we strangle you with shoelaces.
Shoelaces, dog leads. I got killed by a guitar on a staircase.
Oh.
I mean, it's dangerous.
It's dangerous. Very dangerous game.
Don't come to CAT. You'll get murdered.
I don't recommend that.
It's a cult.
It's a cult. It's a cult. There's
It's a cult.
There's no real...
Yeah, if you weren't sure already, we're going and murdering each other in greenhouses on our way to visit the giant mole.
And that's...
Sustainability, everyone.
Ta-da! Dodgy luck.
Cut. It's a cult.
I don't want to like film my whole body like
What the fuck is going on? Men. And he missed. For the 5th years. Gently does it. Ah. Good effort. 14. He's not gonna do it, is he? Would you look at that view? Sheep. Frost. Hungover. I'm just talking nonsense. So slightly late, defrosted the car. We're doing some deep mathing today, and I'm cooking chickpea curry. Let's head to CAT. What are you doing? Like, this is your site. Well, no, it's not your site.
Okay, so yeah.
This is your...
This is my, like, overall... Like, this is the overall town that I'm designing in. So, in my community consultation, I had the local community in India, like, map out problems and solutions on 4 different themes. So I had tourism, waste management, local resources, and water use. So basically, I've got all their like post-it notes that they wrote here, and got pictures of the day, so I need to like remap them back onto here.
So what's all the post-it notes?
So they're all like problems and like solutions for all the 4 topics.
Yeah.
And then basically they mapped where the problems are within the town.
Obsessed. That's
On the
amazing.
map.
That's
So
deep.
we'll see.
That's some deep mapping.
We're trying.
Well done.
Deep mapping.
Okay, right.
Have the food that relates to what they're listening to. You know what I mean? And that just, again, so it's just a little drip feed of income. It's not much, but it kind of, it gives you that, as I said, the independence from the...
So for my portion of the deep mapping, I had a really interesting conversation with Paul and Thea looking through the site photos that I took the week before the Cat Week. And again, as I spoke about it before, like the nature of the site and how it has been sort of co-opted by the people. Then I created this mind map collage and then took it into digital form so I could write some keywords which I can use in the future for reference. We then had a professional studies reflective essay introduction from Carl and Zoe, which involves some free writing. First of all, about something that annoyed us about the built environment, and then we gathered all the keywords from all of our free writing sessions, and then we had to pick one to use to talk about the positive experience that we've had at CAT. I chose the word effort, talking about how effort could be seen as a bad thing, but it can also be part of the reason why something is fulfilling. Speaking of effort, I did have to leave the workshop slightly early just to go to the shops and get some ingredients and cook the chickpea curry that I mentioned earlier in the video. After that we drove back up to CAT, but the weather was pretty horrible, so we were slightly late for Sam and Alexia's professional studies presentations.
It was a meeting, warts and all, so there was a lot of things they knew went wrong with the project, but in their eyes they got it cheap, so...
They don't want to pay for the thing you need in order to play live music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say that we had conversations?
Yeah, it is.
C4. I put B8 in brackets, user carbon, because that's a new addition actually from the
little slide.
It's like the complexities of that. Like sometimes you just have to align with the standards, but be aware of kind of what's it.
He's dead. He's dead.
Structure of the countries around the islands. But they became disused and it's now ruins, and then a bit of garden going to from the restaurant.
So as you just saw, on Saturday morning we had a analysing precedent session with Carl and the introduction to the technical report, which I'm actually like somewhat excited for because that's one of the main reasons why I joined the course. But the weather was pretty grim on the way home and there were lots of scenes like you just saw. It was pretty flooded on some of the roads, but I got home safely and I'm looking forward to next month where we've got some really exciting Christmas plans. I won't spoil anything, but I can't wait. Till next time, thanks for spending another month with me at CAT.